Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Exilemagpie.
Hello!
It's been a little while.
It has.
But it's that time of the year where, unfortunately, life decides that it's going to just get in the way of pretty much everything.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it's been a while. Been a little bit.
News has also been fairly slow.
News has been sparse.
Apart from negative stuff. And
news has been pretty sparse, really. I mean, there's been rumours of things, and like Microsoft might be working on a handheld to go with the Xbox. Again, that's a rumour.
Makes no sense since it seems like they've given up on development of the consoles.
Yeah,
but,
especially considering now everything can be an Xbox, apparently.
Yeah.
There's like smart TVs that are going to have the Xbox app in them and stuff like that. So, anyway. So we've got two Sony things to talk about that have happened. One that is currently happening and one that has happened. Yeah. And then we've got obviously the big one, the Game Awards.
This week the
nominees came out. So we've got the list. We'll go through the list and then we will probably be back next month.
Yeah, unless something major happens.
But yeah. Right, so first off, Sony has shut down studio behind Concord less than 2 years after buying it. This was literally end of last month. Firewalk Studios shutting down as PlayStation CEO Herman Hultz announced in the press release. The team was responsible for Concord, the company's sci-fi hero shooter that bombed so badly it was taken offline. The news comes less than 2 years after PlayStation bought Firewalk Studios as part of its ambitious plans for live service gaming. Yes, if anybody doesn't remember, Sony went on not a massive one, not on a Microsoft scale buying spree, but like they went on a little buying spree, buying companies to get their live service games going because they really wanted to get into that
pie, despite the fact that the pie was getting ridiculously crowded.
Yes, and then they just bought Bungie.
Yeah.
They realised, shit, our live service games aren't doing very well. Fuck it, we'll buy the company that made the first one.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We'll do that.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's pretty much actually how it happened.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, it could be worse. They could be Square Enix with just keep throwing shit at the wall, even though everyone's telling them to stop doing it.
Yeah, that's probably another thing as well. That is probably another thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not surprised that they closed the amount of the budget.
How long that game took to develop, because from all intents and purposes, the green light for that game was given not too long after like Overwatch launched.
Most likely, yeah.
Massive acclaim.
It was like 8-10 years in development.
Yeah.
So that budget is,
and for them to spend all that time and resources for it to fail, and again, this is a management failure. This is not a person in the trenches doing the ones and zeros making the shit work, because even though it wasn't a great game, it worked. Like,
yeah, it
wasn't a buggy hellscape that, the likes of Fallout 76 and Redfall, even though, again, I don't blame the people working on it. That was a management decision, because, you should look at your game in that condition and go, yeah, we can't launch that. We can't launch that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and from the rumor mill and some of the things that have come out, it's clear that, honestly, you can't look at that game and go, the entire team working on it were all 100% all behind, fully happy, and no criticism or like, hey guys, do you think we should change some of it, or this looks like it's going the wrong way? That's just not in that. Even in the smallest teams you can think of, unless you're talking 20 people probably, or we're talking the size of this company, this development studio. There is no way in hell that the entire 100% of the staff looked at Concord and went, yeah, that's what we want. There were bound to be people that literally went, I don't think this is working. And again, management decided not to act on it. Or even worse, fully commit to the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that's led to Concord being the way it is. And again, like we said, it was clearly not going to do well the moment they announced it was a 5v5, was it? Or a hero?
It's just a hero shooter. I think it was 6v6, but I'm not sure.
The moment they announced that, you could tell by the public reaction that no one wanted that.
Yeah.
Like we said, if this was like a sci-fi Payday hero shooter, that would have actually got more people interested. It probably would have had some legs on launch.
Yeah.
Because the actual mechanics of the game weren't broken.
Yeah. The thing is, that's what the fucking trailers were. They were like thieves. Robbing things or mercenaries doing things, taking jobs and all that sort of stuff. And then you saw the gameplay and it was just a hero shooter. And it was just like, that's not what your trailers were saying.
Yeah. And again, like I keep saying, the hero... I wouldn't say it's overloaded, but there are too many hero shooters where it's hero shooter team versus hero shooter team. There's too many of those. And if you're going to have that, you are instantly going to go into combat, into like competition with Overwatch, with its already massive established fan base. Even though Activision Blizzard are desperately trying to kill off its own fan base for some fucking reason. It's like they bring back 6v6, except they don't actually bring it back correctly, and it's like,
no, they just plop in another character. They plop in. Like, you can now have 6v6, but the problem is that the maps are the new maps. They're all built for 5v5.
Yeah.
Right. So
they're very compact and tight.
Yeah, it's very compact, very tight. There's not really a lot of open spaces to move around in there.
Not many fun.
They've reworked the characters to work for 5v5.
Yeah, they've spent what?
So now you've got 6v6, and it's just like, oh my god!
And they still haven't gotten rid of the major problem in regards to the game, which is roll queue, because fucking hell, it fucking sucks.
And obviously you've got Marvel's Heroes coming out,
yep,
which looks fantastic.
It looks amazing.
You've got people hyped for that game, really, and now so you're up against that.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't say you are up against Overwatch, but like that's the established thing. The thing that you're going to have to beat is Marvel.
Yeah.
In this, because Marvel looks like it's going to stick the landing.
Yeah, it
does. They just recently showed off Moon Knight.
Yeah.
He looks fantastic.
So your boy's in it.
And my boy is in it, so I'm like, all right. And he looks good. Yeah, he looks good. All right, so I'm going to be...
This is the thing, like, is with Marvel Lives. I know we've digressed a little bit, but we'll stick back. It is interesting how, like, I've seen not all the characters, but a lot of them, and I've seen how they've took, like, the characters' powers into a tool set in their game, and it's like they all each feel or look unique. With the massive roster they're going to start with, that's impressive.
There's like 38 characters off the bat.
Yeah, that is impressive. How they've kept every character to be like feel unique. And I do not want to be the person balancing that game.
No.
Oh boy, that is a mission in futility.
I mean, they could just do what Sparkling Zero did for Dragon Ball Z and just not balance it.
Not balance it at all.
They just didn't. Well, we were going to balance it, but then we thought, nah, fuck it.
Well, the thing is with Dragon Ball Sparkling. Well, the thing with Dragon Ball in it all is like that. There's no such thing as balance.
Yeah, that's true.
There is always something that is OP until something else that is also OP comes along.
But yeah, Concord. I'm not surprised as much as it sucks.
It is a shame for the people who
worked on it.
And it is a shame.
But this was a game that we also know that they weren't. There was not any inside criticism.
Here's the question. Is the studio being closed down and the staff being moved to other development,
it doesn't say.
Or they just being let go?
Most likely, I can imagine a lot of.
It's most likely a bit of both.
It's probably a bit of both.
Personally, I think the management should get kicked in the ass out the door.
Yeah.
Because that is Concord. It should be squarely put in front of them as their fault. And the people whoever
came up with the idea of no criticism needs to be fired.
The person who came out and basically said no criticism of this game is allowed needs to be literally kicked the fuck out of the company, severance, whatever, get them out, because they're going to do more damage than good. Yes, it sounds great. Oh, we're not going to allow a criticism. In theory, it sounds great. We're not going to stress people out with criticism, blah, blah, blah. But the problem with that is, when you go to the extreme, which they did, is you get Concord, basically, because people who... And it's not a good working environment, because you need to raise concerns. People need to be able to feel that they are able to stand up to a manager and say, I don't think this is working because... Yes, you can't just let them go willy-nilly and criticize X, Y, and Z for whatever reason they want. But if someone has a genuine criticism and a genuine reason and explains it, they shouldn't be penalised for it. They should be encouraged to do that, because the people who know the game the best in the development process are the people actually working on the game. And if someone who has been working on the game comes out and basically says, look, I don't think this is working. It's not. It sounds great on paper, but when we're putting it into this, it is not coming out with what this should be.
Yeah.
And because they didn't allow that, it did the cardinal sin of being boring and
unbelievably bland.
And
although I do think whoever put the red flag on one of the characters needs a promotion. That is absolute mwah.
The red flag and the trash can.
Yeah, just mwah. Right.
That artist designer wanted to see. Well, it feels like whoever designed those two characters really wanted to raise some issues.
Yes. Okay, so moving on. Here is a big one. This is a big one. Sony are in talks to buy Kodakawa, owner of Elden Ring and Dark Souls developer FromSoft. Now, Sony is reportedly in talks to buy Kodakawa, whose subsidiary From Software is behind Smash of Elden Ring, the Dark Souls, and Armored Core games, and PlayStation exclusive Bloodborne. Sony is looking to add to its entertainment portfolio, and Kodakawa's business extends into areas that fit into Sony's broader entertainment offering, which includes anime, manga, TV, and film.
I was about to say it's not just the games.
It's not just games. It's a whole... Because Kodakawa is like Square Enix, in the sense of they don't just do games. They do music. They do music. They do anime. They do manga. They do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So...
Which, considering, Sony also, publishes all of that shit.
Yeah, Sony do all that, but they do it to a much...
larger.
Smaller degree. Because Sony's, their, entertainment portfolio is video games. And movies. At the moment.
And music.
They do have music, but I think music's probably, the biggest thing that they've got. That they do. It's between that and the movies.
Yeah.
When it comes to, the biggest scale of entertainment that they do. But compare them to Square Enix. Square Enix is I don't know how Square Enix have done this, of being everybody only thinks Square Enix only does video games.
It's because I think that's how they
I know, because they started off as Squaresoft.
Yeah,
so everybody thinks
Enix basically merged with Squaresoft.
That's my thing. People forget that Enix is a thing.
Yeah,
everybody still thinks Square is just Squaresoft. It's no, Square Enix own so much stuff. It is silly. Like, it's unbelievable. It's like, you know, when people were like, "Oh, Sony should buy Square Enix." It's like, that's never going to happen. That's a ridiculous.
Oh, it's
thing.
like when like Final Fantasy. Oh, Final Fantasy didn't do as much. It's like, yeah, but that's like a paperclip.
Yeah, you do realise
it's yes. When you talk about the actual money, it's a lot of money that it's
but
going.
Square Enix, that might as well just be like a paperweight on the edge of the fucking table.
I know
how much it is. You have it's like they go like, "Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy 16 did not make the money that they thought it was going to." Yes, but they have something called Final Fantasy 14 that makes them a shit ton of money.
Yeah, like in a sense, Final Fantasy, in a sense, and it's not an exact one-to-one, but it's like what used to happen in the PS2 era, the PS2 and the Xbox era, where you would have developers and publishers would have their number one IP. And the IP that was guaranteed to make them fuck tons of money.
As long as they didn't fuck it over.
As long as they didn't fuck it over. And it was literally like, okay, that's the golden goose, and the people who work on that is the goose that lays the golden egg.
Yeah.
Right? That's the game's the golden egg. But we need to look after the goose, which is the people. However, that's made so much money. What we're going to do is, we've got this small team, and we're going to let them just throw shit at the wall.
Yeah.
And see what they do.
Yeah.
Like Sony went to Sony Santa Monica. Oh, you want to make an action game based on Greek mythology? Go ahead. God of War. God of War is now a thing.
But like, people just seem to forget that like Square Enix does more than just games.
I know.
It's so silly.
Yeah. So, but my point is that in a sense that's what 16 does. The money that goes in, the amount of money that they make from Final Fantasy 16.
I mean 14.
14, sorry. Yeah, the amount of money they make from 14 is so much. The same with WoW, in a sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Activision Blizzard should really just go fuck themselves with their monetization and
just focus
menu
on
design.
WoW. Fix WoW.
Fix WoW. WoW is your golden egg. The people who make WoW are your goose that you must look after. I keep stressing it. I'm going to have to keep stressing this because you're Activision Blizzard and your management sucks.
You are the worst.
You are literally the worst.
Yeah, you are the worst.
You have a Call of Duty which loads up and then goes, an update's needed to restart. And restarts. Because fucking reasons.
You know, Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, I don't know why they did this. But Black Ops 6, you load into Warzone and they've gotten rid of all your stuff. So all my pre-done guns, they're all gone.
They're all gone.
I have to do them all again. But the problem is, like, there's no point in doing them now because those guns are no longer meh. They're like, you might as well be shooting a pea shooter at this point. And it's just like, oh, why? Why do you do this to me? Is it because I didn't buy Vanguard? Is that the reason? Anyway, yeah, so back to Sony. So Sony are wanting to expand their entertainment industry.
We're still in the period in the industry where the big, massive corporations are wanting to basically eat as much of the rest of the market as possible.
Now, basically, what's happened is, number one, Sony obviously want to buy. They want to expand.
They want to expand.
They want to expand, and FromSoft will be a very delicious carrot that is dangling in front of Sony. Yeah. All right.
Because the Soul series.
They are right. Here's the thing: they already own about 6% of From Software.
Yeah. Right. I was also about to say they've already have like workings with FromSoft. Yeah.
Which is why this is the reason why you're more likely to get exclusives for PlayStation from software than you are with Xbox, just because Sony actually own part of From Software. Now, Kodakawa in recent years has had saying bad years is probably a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, if it wasn't for FromSoft.
Yeah, if it wasn't for FromSoft. And no, actually, to be fair, the publishing has been fine. It's not financially they're not having trouble.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is that their shares are dropping because one of their chairmen was, I think, arrested for fraud.
Yeah.
And then their last one has been accused of something. So and their shares are just dropping.
And
because of
I know some people will be going, why is that a problem? Because we're used to the Western CEO of just being Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
A terrible human being, and we're like, oh well, that tracks. Why is that? But this is a Japanese company, and their shares are in Tokyo. I assume
most likely.
Tokyo Stock Exchange.
So there's,
which means reputation has a lot more bearing.
So the shares have dropped, and so now I think number one, I don't think there's anybody that can run Kodokawa. Or at least of what I've read so far, there isn't anybody that's going to be able to take the chairman position of the company.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And that, as well as you've got Sony, who already have a foot in the door.
Yeah.
There as well.
They want to basically just go, now we've got a good opportunity.
If you think about it this way, right?
We have an opportunity to take this company for a lot less than we would have normally.
Think about it this way, right? Microsoft only came out with buying Activision after the scandal came out.
Yeah. Because the share price dropped.
Now, most likely they were probably in talks beforehand. Because that's how these things are done. They take a very long time. They weren't just like, scandal, bye.
I mean, it is Microsoft.
It is Microsoft, so there is possibly a chance that it was. But
because their strategy, I refuse to believe Microsoft has a strategy that lasts 2 days. That alone.
All I'm saying is that because you got to get lawyers involved, you've got to get all that stuff. Then you've got to
Bobby Kotick wants his golden,
got to have a golden handshake
and golden parachute.
So there's a lot there that Microsoft weren't just buying them because of the scandal. That's not what happened, but. There is a reason why they most likely they only bought it for 69 billion.
Yeah,
$69 billion. Where most likely, if that hadn't happened, we're probably looking much higher numbers.
Yeah, 120 probably, maybe
possibly,
more.
Possibly. But these things happen. And unfortunately, when these things happen, especially if it happens to a smaller company, a bigger company will just come around and just eat it because it's just like, well, they've got something that we like.
A shark smells blood in the water.
Yeah, exactly. And Sony want to expand their entertainment portfolio, specifically, I think, in the manga and anime. I mean, over in the West, Sony own all the anime.
Yeah,
they own Crunchyroll, which in the West is the only legal, only anime streaming site. You can obviously get illegal ones, but obviously
they're called illegal for a reason.
Yeah,
and also, if other companies like, I don't know, Amazon and Netflix actually,
Netflix has gotten better. Netflix has gotten a lot better at doing the anime.
I know, but it's like stuff. I don't want to wait 2 years for something I watched on Netflix to come out on DVD.
Yeah, I know.
God damn it.
I know.
And also Amazon, can you please let us buy the shit?
Yes, that would be nice.
I want to buy a physical copy, please. Let me give you money.
Recreators would be, that would be nice if you...
That would be really nice.
Just release that, because you don't put anime on your thing anymore. Over in the West, we've got Disney, who are doing it.
Yes.
We've got, which, if I'm honest, Disney getting anime to me just looks like, wow, your platform is terrible.
Yeah. Disney, the Western equivalent of, well, actually no, the most recognizable animation studio in the world.
I would actually argue that they are probably the most recognizable brand in the world.
They are the most recognizable brand, but also like. If you just think about, like, Disney, what's the first thing you think of?
I know.
The Disney classic cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, the movies like Cinderella, Lion King, and not the fucking live-action bullshit they're throwing out now.
Mustafa!
No, I don't need to know how Scar got his scar. This makes it so fucked up that his parents called him Scar before he got a scar.
That's true.
Like, what the...
That's true. Or maybe he was born without a scar.
Uh-huh.
He was named as something else, but then he got a scar,
and
then he changed his
name.
How
much of that's still...
That's even worse.
That's even... I was going to say, that's still a bullshit thing to do. Also, like, I'm sick and tired of Disney going, we have to explain why our villains are the way they are. Your primary audience are kids.
Well, it's not just that.
You don't need to explain why the villain is a villain.
I can get that. I can get it. Oh, well, we need to explain why the villain is... Okay, that's fine. But you don't have to give them all some depressing backstory. You could make some of them kind of silly if
you're
you
not
wanted
making
to.
You're not making a character for One Piece. Stop it.
Like, look at it this way. One of the best villains in all of comics is Doctor Doom. And he is a villain because he doesn't like Reed Richards. That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Reed Richards. He has to prove that he's smarter than Reed Richards, and that is it. There is no other reason for him to be a villain.
He's a villain because he's an asshole.
Yeah, and it's just like sometimes just make the villain be a villain. They don't need... Gaston is perfect. He is a villain only because he's a dick. He's just a dick to everyone.
He is a self-important arsehole.
Yeah.
Who's narrow-minded, simple-minded, and just like stuck in the old way, sort of thing. Gaston, Clayton from Tarzan.
Another one.
Clayton does not need. He is a hunter. That is it. He's doing something that is. But anyway, we
need to go back. We've gone to bashing Disney.
I mean, it's very easy to bash Disney.
It is very easy. Right. So yeah. So Sony buying Kodakawa. I mean, for gamers, I think it'll be it's the whole FromSoft.
Yeah.
Thing, but if I'm honest, we as people, well, I mean, we can, because we were saying no the entire time and that it's stupid that anybody would actually support it, but we as gamers cannot say that Sony can't do this.
No, because I'm going to say I'm personally against it, because it means that Sony have the ability to restrict stuff like, if there's a sequel to Elden Ring, that could be just on PlayStation, or Sony could pull the bullshit on PC. And I'm like, no, don't do that.
They will do that.
Dumb.
They will pull the bullshit on PC.
It's
that will happen.
Dumb.
What I do think is going to happen with FromSoft, just because it would be silly not to. Maybe FromSoft will make some exclusives, maybe like a Bloodborne 2, if that ever happens, or like just something. But I do think if it's going to be under the umbrella of Dark Souls or Elden Ring, in that case, I do think they're going to release. I think FromSoft's going to be much more Bungie territory for Sony, just because I think they know it will make them more money.
Oh, so in other words, they will get the FromSoft developers to help any of their other studios that are making like a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, like if FromSoft were making Elden Ring 2, then like it would be very, very silly just to put it on the PlayStation. Now we are talking about Sony here, and Sony are just like Microsoft, and they do stupid things for no apparent reason. So I could be completely wrong.
Because just like Microsoft / Xbox, Sony don't seem to have people in the boardroom going, you can't do this. This is a dumb idea, this is why.
But the whole thing with Bungie makes me think that there is somebody there that is like, well, we can make money if we do it this way. Yeah, we
can use the talent here to make our other studios
because
better.
You have to be an absolute moron not to realize that, like, the advertisement value of just the name From Software on a game. Yeah. Like, you have to be a moron.
The problem is that you could have said that the same with Bungie. And now that's not really the case anymore.
Yes, but we know that wasn't Microsoft, and that wasn't Sony. That was Bungie themselves.
I know, but I'm saying
we know that
Bungie was at a time a company that could sell games on their name alone. Destiny 1 is a prime fucking example.
True. I agree with you. I do get your point. I get your point with Bungie.
It's just playing devil's advocate. Like, this is not all.
Number one, we actually know what went wrong with Bungie and why it happened the way it happened. With FromSoft, we've seen that, like, when they say they're going to do a project,
they're going to do
it, and they release it.
Yeah.
To a good standard and generally gets praised.
It is the concern that I'm worried that FromSoft will have now someone above them going, no, we want. You will have to insert this.
This is why I'm like, I think they're going to go the Bungie route with FromSoft.
Oh yeah, because Bungie has their own weird little contract.
They've got a contract with Sony where like they're kind of
they are owned by Sony, but
they have their own
autonomy. Yeah,
which is what I think they will do with FromSoft.
I mean,
it's what I would do.
It's the smart thing to do, but this is the AAA game industry.
That's very true.
Doing the smart thing seems to be an anathema. It seems to be heresy. It seems to be heretical thought. It's almost like they're a government-run organisation.
That's true.
To anyone outside of what worked for the government, because I'm pretty sure every single country is the same. I mean, you just have to listen to half the people that have ever worked as a civil servant of any country. Yeah, common sense seems to not be allowed. It seems to be heretical thought, and it's banned.
So, yeah, I think I'm not keen on the buy.
But
at the same time, I'm just like, well, you know what? Everybody was fucking dancing in the streets for Activision.
So the thing is, though, because we were staunchly against the Activision Blizzard takeover. I mean, we weren't even pleased about the Bethesda takeover.
Yeah, that's true.
Although for different reasons, but we were not supporting it at all.
I mean, I was like 50-50 because I was like, well, you know, Microsoft are buying Bethesda. They're not going to let Bethesda get away with the shit that they've been doing. And then Starfield fucking came out. And then I was like, wow, okay, Microsoft are going to let.
Yeah.
I'm going to let them just do the same thing.
Then Redfall came out, and you were like, well, okay, maybe this was too far along for them to stop it. They should have stopped it still, but...
Oh, yeah.
And then Starfield came out and went, wow, you are literally just...
You're just letting them do whatever.
Not doing it.
And then Phil Spencer came out and went, yeah, we're just you know, we're hands off and we're just letting them do whatever. Wow. Did you not see the company that you bought? Did you not
know there was issues?
Did you not see the state of Fallout 76?
Did you not know that Todd Howard is a lying piece of shit and should not be trusted at all with anything?
But with this again, I'm just like, well, we were all dancing in the streets when they bought Activision.
Yeah, the Xbox fanboys. What
exactly do
you have nothing to stand on. You can't turn around and go, but I want to play out blah 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 blah. This is a monopoly. Tough. You decided that monopolies were good things, but Microsoft were buying it.
Yes. So now it's just like,
you guys have nothing to stand on. You can't complain about it. If you do, you're a hypocrite. So, you know, make that with what you will. I personally, again, don't think it's a good thing.
I don't think it's a good thing.
Because FromSoft and the company is, well, at least in the gaming sphere.
There's also Spike Soft, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They're the ones that make the Danganronpa games. They're in there as well.
They are perfectly fine to be able to work on work outside of any major corporation. They're a big corporation as is. But the independence is working for them, sort of thing. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like they are financially stable on their own. They're, apart from the bullshit managerial CEO crap that's going on, it seems like they're not too badly. So there's no need for a company to come in and eat them.
That's true.
But you know, this is the industry situation at the moment, and I'm just not looking forward to the major corporate domination bullshit future that is rapidly approaching.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, the more and more things go on, you look at Cyberpunk and go, why are you right?
Yes. Why are you looking more and more like a prediction than a this is a cool what if?
Yeah. You just look at it and you just go, stop it. Stop being right.
Also, to everyone that like goes on Cyberpunk and goes, Cyberpunk would be cool to live in. No, it not.
Well, no, it would be cool to live in if you're a high-ranking corpo.
Yeah, The problem is, you're not going to be a high-ranking corporal.
No.
Because the high-ranking corporals are already in place.
Mm.
It's like the people that go on about, like, I want to live in the Warhammer world. No, you don't!
You do not.
You would be a peon! A tiny little portion of the population.
Most likely, you'd end up being on a death world in a hive city full of either God knows what, with gangs juiced up on God knows what.
Your life would be wake up, go to ridiculously manually intensive, tiring.
Oh no! No.
This is the best case scenario. On a rewarding job, and then go home and sleep and hope and pray to God that the people you live around are not heretical.
Pray to the Emperor. Sorry, not God.
Well, the God Emperor.
Emperor.
Pray to the God Emperor.
You've got to say God Emperor. You can't say God.
You've got to pray to the God Emperor that the people you live with and the people in your block or section or whatever are not heretical cultists that will either kill you or lead to your death through association, or even worse, just, an invasion of anything.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you somehow survive that, you'll be called up to the Imperial Guard and thrown into the next fucking battle where you'll probably not even last 5 seconds. That is the best. That is for the 99.999999999% of the population. That is the best case scenario. Warhammer 40k is not a place you want to live in.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's more. I'm against.
It's more companies buying companies and just getting bigger and bigger, and
it's like every time there's a rise, it is always followed with a fall, and unfortunately, we have a society that rewards the incompetence of managers and punishes the skills of the workforce, which is
pretty much
fucking stupid. Anyway, shall we move on to the thing we want to talk about?
Yes, we are going to talk about. They've changed the site.
Yeah, you also have to sign in.
What, to have a look at it?
No, to vote.
Oh, I'm not voting.
But I think you can actually.
I'm
just
not.
Look at the nominees.
Okay, right. The Game Awards have been announced. It is happening on the 12th, so a day after my birthday.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I'm working the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th.
Great.
Yeah.
We will have to find time to watch it.
Yeah. But we'll figure it out. So, the nominations have come out, and we are going to go through them, and we're going to pick our pick to who we think are going to win it.
And if there's something there that we don't believe should be there, we'll call it out, just like we did with Cyberpunk last year.
Right, as always, we are going to get rid of the esports shit.
Should we talk about the comment regarding DLC first? Before looking at the nominations.
Okay, yes. Okay, let's talk about DLC. And okay, let's do this. Oh. That was weird.
The website doesn't like the
It doesn't like my tablet. Right. Yes. So the Game Awards have come out and said that DLC remasters, remakes.
Now, remakes, I would say.
I would have to actually look at the remake first.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
because if it's a 1-to-1, then
yeah, no. As in, remaster. You know how you put what is a remaster and what is a remake?
Yes.
In your condition,
yes.
With this, I do agree with you. If it's just a remaster, spruced up graphics and that, it shouldn't be counted.
Yeah.
But if it's a remake, a la Dead Space, Silent Hill 2, Final Fantasy, the Resident Evils, because there's so much that has been changed, I would probably say. That they are basically a new game. So
I was gonna mention that I think remakes are okay.
Yeah,
remakes are fine.
Remasters are not.
Remasters no, because they're just spruced up games.
Yeah, they're just the same game. Maybe they've got a bit more ease of life. bits added to them, and
Yeah.
but like they're still fundamentally the same game, just prettier.
Yeah.
While remakes a la Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dead Space,
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Yeah, okay.
The Last of Us Part 1.
Last of Us Part 1 has had
not
enough.
2, because
yeah.
that just got spruced up. That
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Last of Us Part 1 because they added a whole bunch of stuff.
They added a bunch of stuff, and they also did like redo the graphics. They
Yeah.
they rebuilt the game.
Yeah, they rebuilt the game from
So-
the ground. If you've had to rebuild the game from the ground up,
Yeah.
I would say because
I'm okay with that. Now, does that mean I think they should win? Probably not.
It depends who they're
I
up
think
against.
they could. I think they can get nominated. I'm fine with remakes again. I don't think they should win.
It depends.
Unless you've done so much work on it in the sense of like.
Yeah, but it depends on the actual remake.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless they've done enough work, a la remake, Final Fantasy VII remake and Rebirth.
Yeah.
I think that's fine because although they are taking stuff from the original, they have clearly gone in a different direction.
Yeah.
And they are still clearly different games.
I would also put Dead Space into that sort of thing because even though the beats are the same, there is so much that they've added.
But the thing is, I probably still wouldn't give.
But again, it depends on the games it's nominated against as well.
Yeah.
Like it deserves to be nominated per se, but depending on who they're
remasters, no. Remasters, no, and DLC is also a no.
No, they should have a DLC category. In my opinion.
They should have a DLC category. And considering Cyberpunk got Best Ongoing Game for when it released DLC, it technically
they have a category for DLC.
They have a category for DLC.
Yeah,
but they should do a Best DLC. I always wondered why they didn't. But then I used to think that ongoing game was the DLC stuff.
Yeah, because in a sense it is. The ongoing stuff. Like,
but then,
for example, Destiny, like DLC stands for downloaded content.
Yeah.
DLC.
Final
Fantasy 14, Destiny,
World of Warcraft,
No Man's Sky, like the games that have constant updates and developments. They're even though they are ongoing games per se, it is still DLC that adds that extra content. It's just that you're not paying for it.
Yeah.
It would be classed in all terms as free DLC.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in there. It's just weird. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I instantly, the minute I heard this, I was like, they've announced this because they want to put Shadow of the Erdtree in the best game category.
Yes,
that is why they're doing this.
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be there. It's very good.
It's Shadow of the Erdtree is amazing, but it's not a new game. It's not a game that's been released this year.
Yeah, it got
and
last
Shadow
year.
of the Erdtree, even though it adds a whole bunch of shit, and for the likes of Activision Blizzard, would be classed as a whole new game.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, we're looking at you. It's still the same game.
Yeah, you still need.
It is added content.
Yeah.
Just create a category. Added content award.
Yeah.
Best added content.
Best DLC.
Or best DLC.
Everybody calls it DLC, so best DLC.
Yeah.
There you go. Done.
All you need to do, that's just add a fucking award. I mean, it'll be an award that you... Oh, no, hang on, because then they couldn't actually put it on the... Yeah, no. They want to have FromSoft up on the stage again. And
Yes,
they
do.
It's like, here's an idea. Instead of...
But the thing is...
Instead of having the esports stuff, take those out, add one thing, and then spend more time on the actual awards, because that's what you're supposed to fucking be! Anyway. That's our opinions on the
that is the opinion for us on thingy. Shall we get to the nominations? Okay,
yes.
as always, we are skipping the esports stuff. We do not care about the esports. We'll go with content creator of the year, just because we are technically content creators.
Yes.
Let's have a look. Anyway, creator of the year, we have somebody I do not know, somebody else I do not know, somebody else I've never heard of, somebody else I've never heard of, and Picora from Hololive.
So,
now, there is a funny meme going around with this.
Yeah.
Right, so Hideo Kojima's favourite VTuber is Picora.
Picora, yes. And
Jeff
is big friends with...
he's
Kojima.
not just... He's not a friend, he is a simp.
Yes.
He is a simp for Kojima.
As another person that kind of worships the ground Kojima walks on, Yes, I understand. So yes, the meme is going around that it's Kojima that wants
Picora in there. So right, I'm going to say this now.
To be honest, some of her streams are fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, they're funny.
They are, and very, very, very entertaining.
So,
but she also has a pet monkey, apparently. I don't know.
I would not be surprised if Picora wins this.
No, because...
Just because Jeff will say, no, it doesn't matter how many people vote for this. Picora is winning.
Also, you've got to remember there is the HoloLive fanbase and VTuber fanbase, which overlap, yet also are potentially two different groups. Therefore, there is a lot of fans that will automatically vote for her.
Yes.
And unfortunately this year, the nominees for the others are people we don't watch. So,
to be honest with you, I've never heard of them.
we
are old, though.
Yeah,
we are old.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind. We are old. We're not saying that they're not.
It's
what we're
just
saying
that
is that we are old.
they just don't fall under the stuff that we follow, and therefore, and this is part of the problem with like algorithms.
Yeah.
Is that you don't discover stuff that is not in your wheelhouse in a sense.
The algorithm only pushes like what it thinks you want.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it only knows what you want from what you watch.
Yeah.
So it basically offers you more of the same. And so it can be hard to actually...
So, to be fair to these other creators, we have... The other creators on there are Techno Gamers, Ilujuan, I think I pronounced that right. Ilujuan, Typical Gamer, and...
Or is it Iluwan?
Iluwan. Could be Iluwan.
One.
Yeah.
Anyway, apologies if we get the name wrong.
And Casio. They are the other nominees. Yeah. Like I said, I've never heard of any of them. But I am old.
Yes.
I am an old gamer.
So we think Picora's going to get it, but...
It could be any of them. I'm only saying Picora because it's Kojima.
Yeah.
And I just, in my head...
I'm only saying Picora because...
She's the only one you know.
One, yeah, she's the only one I know, and also two, I am fully aware of the fan base of that part of streaming.
Yeah,
is
rabid.
Yes, but also, right. So it can be extremely rabid, but also very, very loyal.
Oh yeah.
So. It is a case of not only have you got people who just like Picora, but you'll have because she's not got any other HoloLive competition.
You'll have all
the entire HoloLive fan base will probably, and she's the only VTuber, which means the entire VTuber fan base is probably going to vote for her as well. Give or take a couple of, because in every group there are idiots and fucking assholes because humanity.
Yeah. But yeah, in my head canon, this is what I'm going to imagine if she does actually win it, right? This is my imagination. Someone's going to go, oh, Casio's got 1,000,005 votes. And how many does Picora have? Oh, she's got like 5. And so Jeff will go, okay, I am 1,000,001 votes. Just me.
Oh, yeah. Look, to be perfectly honest, I think whoever wins will probably.
The thing is, the
deserving.
Content Creator of the Year one is much more of a like.
Who do you know?
Yeah, who do you know? Like, if you don't know them, you're probably not going to vote for them.
No. And usually when it's been voted, when the nominees come out, we've had like 1 or 2, and sometimes all of them we've actually had knowledge of.
Yeah.
This is the first time we're like, who are the other 4?
I think it's because, like, at least now, obviously with me streaming more, I've kind of just got my little niche of what I watch, and I don't really go outside of that. Mainly because I don't have time.
Nah.
I don't have time to look around anymore on the internet. I'm doing things.
And me, I'm like, I enjoy D&D. I enjoy other things like VTubers. I watch VTubers because the technology absolutely fascinates me.
Look, we are old.
Yes.
Now. In gaming world, we are old. I know we've said this a couple of times.
I'll give an example. Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park.
We were kids.
We were kids when.
when that came out.
Well, that came out.
I wasn't even allowed to go see it. That's how young I was.
I wasn't allowed to go see it. I turned 12 after it was in the movies, and then the UK decided to turn the 12 rating to an 18 on video release, and I was very upset.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, my point being is like my whole thing with VTubers is like I grew up where the height of technological like graphics and all that was Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That was revolutionary technology. And now we have technology where a person with a fucking iPhone can sit in front of it and have an animated character match what they're doing.
Yeah.
It is fascinating how that's possible.
If you think about it, like an iPhone can power a rocket to the moon.
Yes. Oh yeah. I've known for years like the technology that was on the lunar lander and the command thingy.
We're going to kill this now. We're breaking it. We're too far away.
Yeah.
No. Right, okay, so next award is the most anticipated game. Now, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to win this.
Yes.
Hands down, unfortunately. Because out of all of the games, that is the one I care the least about.
Because it's Grand Theft Auto.
Because it's Grand Theft Auto. I'm not a Grand Theft Auto.
It is the monolith that is Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. I'm not stupid.
Like, understandably so, because even though we do have our criticisms of Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto as a series with certain aspects, especially the focus on GTA Online and fuck the main game. On launch, like at least with Rockstar, when they launch the game is huge. Like it's not just a flash in a pan. Now it's not a standard Activision Blizzard multiplayer focused, usually Call of Duty, where the campaign is meh. Yeah. And here's the thing we want you to play the most.
Yeah.
Or like EA with their sports games. Here's the career mode. We've done nothing to it for the last 5 years. Have fun with it. By the way, spend all your money on our Ultimate Team. Thank you very much, and we will tell you to bend over in 12 months' time.
Yeah, pretty much. So the most anticipated games are obviously Grand Theft Auto 6, which is probably going to win it. But for me, this is just like all the other four games. Like I'm getting them.
Yeah.
So we've got Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which I am very hyped for.
Yes,
because I loved Death Stranding, even if the BTs are the worst enemy that I've ever encountered in a game in my life.
It is such a like the thing is though, it's like Death Stranding is one of those games where you'll either click with it and love it, or you don't click with it. And you don't like it at all. And I totally understand both sides of the argument. I enjoy it because it's such a break from every other game.
Yeah, there isn't another game like Death Stranding.
There's no other game like it. And you can literally just relax. And if you don't want to, like, if you're in the mood to not progress the story, and you know where all the BT zones are, you can literally just spend a couple hours, if not more, just doing random deliveries as a relaxing break.
Especially once you've got the roads built.
Yeah,
you can just drive through, and you can even go through the BT zones with the roads.
Yeah,
so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I straight up, I cannot wait for.
I do wonder what other absolutely mind-boggling shit is going to be in that game.
I know,
because it's weird as hell.
There are many questions that right now I don't want answered because I want the game. Like with Death Stranding 2, Death Stranding 2 is the game that I'm keeping my head in the sand. Yeah, because I don't really want to know anything.
Yeah, well, welcome to trying to avoid all spoilers for Kojima games.
Oh yeah, I know that, but I'm staying away from it just because.
No, I'm just saying, as a person that has experienced that thing with every single Metal Gear release after Metal Gear Solid. Welcome to that experience.
I'm only saying this because, like, with Metal Gear was weird. Like, it was weird, but like, nothing prepared me for Death Stranding 1. There was no preparing for that game. I was like, oh, you know what? I've played Metal Gear. I've gone through some of them.
We've seen the Psycho Mantis shit.
I've watched you play all the Metal Gear games all the way through.
We've gone through...
This is Kojima. This is fine. I was not expecting half the shit that came.
You watched me defeat the Cobras.
Yeah.
You watched me defeat the what are they called in 4? The lasses. That were like different
versions
of like former bosses. Sort of thing. I can't remember what they're called.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. Because I'm pretty sure wasn't one of them Vulcan Raven's daughter.
Yeah,
like
in
that.
a sense, like
and she had like the big.
Mm-hmm.
Laser gun.
And
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing prepared me for the weirdness that was Death Stranding.
Yeah, Death Stranding is a whole new level of weird. Which makes me think, what the hell's the horror game going to be like? Anyway.
So after Death Stranding 2, we've got Ghost of Yotai, which is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which is my favourite PS4 game.
Yes.
Again, very, very hyped.
I'm looking forward to it. We believe it's set at the height of Nobunaga during the Sengoku Jidai, which is, a very common place to set.
What I would like them to do is, I'm fine with them setting it there. Well, I would like it to have something else other than Nobunaga and that.
Right. So the thing is because it's set in the northern, is it Hokkaido? Not Hokkaido. The Northern Island. It's set in the Northern Island.
Where the Dante clan is.
Yeah. That had fuck all effect or to do with Nobunaga. Literally nothing. It's only when Hideyoshi becomes gets control does he actually gain his influence in those areas. So I don't think it's going to have actual you're going to X, Y, and Z with the Oda clan, etc., etc. But it could be something that's mentioned, sort of thing, which would be fine. So it's all I say is it's a common place to set feudal Japan. Ubisoft, we're looking at you. It's doing an area. It's doing an area that is not usually shown.
Used, yeah.
The only times I've seen it being used is from the Total War series and Samurai Warriors. That's it, and that's because they both show they both involve the entirety of Japan.
I'm pretty sure Neo 2 does uses the Dante clan there as well.
Yeah, but it's another one that uses the entirety of the country, sort of thing.
Yeah, so, that's true. So after that, we've got Metroid Prime, which we know a lot of people are very, very...
Very, very excited for. I've waited a
long time for this game.
To a point I'm like... Part of me's like, why have you put that in there unless you know something? Because apart from Nintendo saying, we are actually still working on it...
Well, Nintendo have come out and said they are expecting to release it next year. They just haven't given an exact date.
I know, but still,
Plus, Elden Ring was in the most anticipated game for
2 years.
2-3 years. So,
I know, but the thing is, with Elden Ring, we had more than just
a
title.
Didn't. Not when he was in there.
Yeah, well, for the first year. First year.
First year, all we had was that cinematic trailer. That was it.
I know, but we at least had a cinematic trailer. Metroid Prime 4, we only have the logo. We've got nothing else.
Did we not get a little bit of
No,
I thought we did.
What we got was the remake of the first one.
Oh yeah, we did.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining that it's it because I'm literally
I understand why it's there.
I understand why it's there because the fan base are really looking forward to it. But I'm there's the suspicious, cynical part of me is you've got something, haven't you?
Yeah, probably.
Jeff. You have something.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Nintendo actually have something for you, don't they? So I expect a Metroid Prime 4 trailer.
Possibly.
At the Game Awards, because that's I'll be honest, right? That's what people watch it for now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the trailers. Monster Hunter Wilds is the other one, which I think comes out in February, which everybody.
Yeah. Put it this way, all 5 games on other years probably would win.
Yeah.
If they weren't all up against each other.
Yeah.
And the fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is there means it's going to be Grand Theft Auto 6.
Okay. Well, I think we know who's going to win this one. But the next one is Best Adaptation. Now, this is actually pretty good. This is a pretty good thing, apart from that one, but we won't talk about that one. So, best adaptation. This is video games to screen. So, movies, TV series, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Nominations are Arcane, which is probably going to win it because I am I'm waiting for all the episodes to come out. And then
you're going to binge it?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah.
And also people who know the story going, yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to be very, very, very sad, though.
Yeah, probably.
At times.
Well, to be fair, the ending of Arcane 1, mate, it was just sort of like, yeah, I know how this is going. I've read enough stories to know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not stupid. So, yeah, we have Arcane. Yeah. We have the Fallout TV show, which was very good. It was pretty good, so that deserves it. We've got Knuckles, which is... I
think it's like the short miniseries.
Yeah.
Between 2 and 3.
Yeah. I've not actually seen it, so I don't have
I have heard good things about it, though, so...
We've got the Like a Dragon Yakuza TV show.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is out over here yet.
No, unless I've missed it, but... again... There have been good things said.
Oh no, it's on Amazon, so I'll tell you what, I'll check it out. But I have heard good things about it, but I've not actually seen it. And I have watched Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft, and that show is a dumpster fucking fire. I would rather kick it into the street.
Here's the thing. I don't understand why the desire to make Lara Croft a vulnerable.
That's not what this is.
I know, but like...
That's not... They don't do that in this one.
Oh, did they not?
No, in this one, she wants to basically apologise for all the bad things she's done.
Oh, for the love of fucking... Like, no, my point...
You're Indiana Jones, love!
My point being is, I don't understand... I was about to say, like, I don't understand the push to make Lara Croft a vulnerable... Sympathetic. It's like, no, she's a badass.
She's an action hero.
She is a female action hero version of Indiana Jones. She is literally like, this is cool shit, I'm putting it into a museum. Why? Because I'm extremely rich and I don't give a shit about you.
And I have these 2 guns.
That
never run out of ammo.
I have these 2 guns that finalise the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Go at me. Like, I like the unapologetic badass that Lara Croft was.
Yeah.
Not because, like, it doesn't matter, but I prefer that character to what we have currently.
So, moving on, we've got Best Multiplayer. This one's quite a tough one to call. I mean, I know which one I want to win, but I don't know which one will.
Yeah.
You know? So we have Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I have a feeling it's going to be that one that wins it. Just because it's COD.
Yeah, if it wins, it's only because it's COD. I have played the multiplayer. It's COD.
Yeah, it's COD.
The movement is... I hate the movement.
The movement is shit. Omnidirectional movement is fucking garbage. The amount of times I've gone, right, I'm going to slide behind this thing, cover so I can reload, and I've just gone sliding across the entire fucking map.
It takes a little bit getting used to after doing... And it is clearly not gamepad friendly.
Oh no, it is not.
It is not gamepad friendly. But it's the multiplayer is not bad.
It's just COD.
It's just COD.
Yeah. We have Helldivers 2, which is one of the games I would like to win this.
Yeah.
But
Helldivers 2 in multiplayer is absolutely hilarious if you get 4 people all committed to the bit.
Yeah. I like it. I don't think it's going to win only because of all the bullshit that Sony have pulled.
Sony decided to literally kneecap Helldivers
for no other
reason than...
We're Sony!
Yeah, we're Sony, and I don't understand. This again, I'm going to point it out.
I think, you know what it was? It was right, we've made a bunch of good decisions lately.
Time to fuck them all
we haven't made a bad decision, so let's do...
Let's make a really bad decision. This is what, again, I'll point this out. This is why I want Microsoft Xbox to do well. Because then Sony doesn't pull this shit!
Anyway. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
It's Mario Party.
It's Mario Party.
It's Mario Party.
Mario Party should never be allowed to win a
No, because it's not a multiplayer game. It's a test your friendship game.
Yeah, it's a game that will murder you because Tekken 8, which Okay.
It is a very well put together.
And the
online is really, really well. It works well. Like all the modes and that do well as well. So
the one I absolutely want to win.
Yeah.
Is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2.
Yes.
Because the multiplayer is just mwah. And
again,
I don't even mind the PvP. I mean,
PvP,
I'm not keen on it, but I don't mind.
The thing is like PvP feels tacked on and yet still is fucking fun.
Yeah. But
again, like the like co-op missions, again, it's like Helldivers. If you get 2 other people that are in on the bit to roleplay, it's fucking amazing.
I love.
Well, yeah, all I would probably say Call of Duty is the least deserving. Call of Duty and Mario Party are the least deserving of them because Mario Party is still just Mario Party. It's there's nothing.
And COD is just COD.
And COD is COD. Helldivers is phenomenally good. You just get absolutely amazing moments in Helldivers too. Like, so...
Especially when you get randomers who decide that they are now Oscar-winning actor.
And they commit to the bit.
And they commit
to the bit. It's amazing. And the same with Space Marines. And then there's Tekken, which is like... Whoever is the person that decides on like how the game shows off, like when it slows down and when it focuses in on stuff, they deserve all the praise because it makes every single fight you have is epic as fucking hell, and it is hyper shit. And I don't know how they get to do it over and over again because
they did it.
They did it, and in multiplayer it just adds that extra oomph to the fight. Yeah. It's great.
Okay, so moving on, we have best sports and racing game. So we have F124.
No.
By the way, we don't care about this one.
No, we don't.
Just let you know, we're just
we
going
don't care about this one, but for F1 2024, there's a reason why I haven't bought that game.
F1 2024, EA Sports FC 25, no. NBA 2K 25, no. Top Spin 2K 25.
It has apparently got a lot of very, very good reviews. However, it is 2K. And
WWE 2K24. Now, I'm going to say WWE.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. As a person that has spent the last...
For somehow... I don't know how they did this, but they managed to time this perfectly, right? The quality of the 2K WWE games got better at the same time that the quality of WWE got better. And it was like,
how the fuck
was this like planned? Did you talk to each other?
The game actually works.
Yeah, the game works. And it's good.
It's good. It's back to being like you can pull like actual wrestling shit off.
Yeah.
For example, there was one match I was having where I downloaded Edge's moveset. Adam Copeland. So basically, I went for the spear. It got reversed into a DDT. My opponent rolled out of the ring. Because it was the finish. It was literally the finish. I had the instant get up ability. I popped it, ran to the ropes. My opponent came back in, and I speared them as they got up. It was just like, oh my fucking god!
That was an actual wrestling spot.
That was an actual wrestling spot. It's amazing. Like, because obviously, like, the way you see it is not how it would be presented as the actual show.
Yeah.
So what you would see on the show is the camera pointing out to the person that got out of the ring, getting back in, switch to camera, out of nowhere, spear.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Like, and also I've been seeing on like YouTube and shorts and that, like actual like wrestling spots of people coming. Like you can RKO out of nowhere.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, how like, and it's like. It is very. It's back to like when we used to religiously play the WWE games. We did. Where we would have our own rosters. We would have universe mode where you would have your own show and I would have mine, and we'd have like proper like events and that. And they've done so much work. Like one of our complaints on older games, and I don't know. We didn't play 22, so we don't know. Is it 22 or 23? Anyway, the previous ones. was that specialist matches had a set arena. Like, you couldn't have your own show and have the ring be your designed ring for that show. The only one it does it now on is War Games and the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
Which is for understandable reasons, because War Games is the two rings together, and Elimination Chamber is the...
Yeah, it's a set thing.
Remember how the Royal Rumble was always the Royal Rumble arena?
Yeah.
Nope. You can have your own show and have a Royal Rumble.
Nice.
You can have a Hell in a Cell.
Mm.
And it's like, oh my god, this is what we've been asking for. Like, holy fucking shit.
So, yes.
Yeah, the WWE game should get it. I don't think it will.
To be honest with you, which one's going to win it?
Top Spin.
Top Spin?
Top Spin's actually Top Spin's actually been getting some really good reviews. Unlike everything else.
Yeah, but is anybody actually playing it?
Yes, apparently so.
Okay.
I used to love Smash Court Tennis.
Yeah, but
that's a completely different thing. I know, but like, I really wish the classics would have Anna Kournikova Smash Court Tennis too, because that was my jam. Mm. But anyway, I want to have Hiachi versus Pac-Man.
Alright. Moving on. Best Sim Strategy. Age of Mythology Retold. Frostpunk 2. Kitsune Gami Path of the Goddess, which was that tower defense game that Capcom released. Mana Lords. And Unicorn Overload. Ooh. This is a really tough one.
It is a really tough one. I am going to be biased and say Frostpunk 2.
For me, it's between Frostpunk 2 and Unicorn Overload.
I think it's between Frostpunk and Mana Lords. Mana Lords is a really well done, like, city building sim, but also strategy, medieval strategy game. It is very well done. But I'm going to let my bias win out here, because Frostpunk 2 is like, it is not just a rehash of Frostpunk 1. It is literally like, we are going to you are no longer micromanaging. Mm. You are macro managing now. And the game beats your ass over and over. It is literally like, I'm getting the same feeling of when I first started playing Frostpunk. Like, how the fuck do I get... Yeah. How do I do this? How the fuck... Like, I need everything. I need all... Like, with every fucking strategy game I ever have, I need all the things. And usually, like, with saves and other things, I have, like, a plan. Mm. And I'm like, Frostpunk is literally like, no, you need all the things. And you all need all the things now. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Okay. Right. So, moving on. We now have Best Family Game, which is...
the Nintendo Award.
Usually the Nintendo Award. But this year, it's a little bit different.
Yes.
Okay, so...
I mean, I see it's very heavily Nintendo dominated.
It is still very heavy Nintendo, but we have other games. So we have Princess Peach Showtime.
Yes.
Super Mario Party Jamboree, which again should not win this because it is evil.
It is a test of friendship, not a...
The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire, and Astrobot. Now, Astrobot should win this because Astrobot is nominated for Game of the Year.
Yes. So they've kind of let the cat out of the bag.
Astrobot should win this because if it doesn't, then it's not winning Game of the Year. Yeah, like it can't. It's
also like the other 4 games were not deemed good enough to win Game of the Year at all, or even a chance. So Astrobot should win it. And also, I would agree with that.
I'm just very happy that like the Plucky Squire's gotten nominated.
Yeah, although it's an adorable game.
Yeah, although it. What's the correct words? I wouldn't say it's a bad game. It is very, very good, but it's very simple. Yeah, I think simple is probably a better word. But yeah, it's still fun. Yeah. It's still really good.
Astrobot though is literally
Astrobot. I just recently platinumed it. And I'm going to say, fuck that last level. Fuck that last level.
However, I was about to say, it is a return to 3D platformers in the heyday, a la Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter and Mario 3D sort of thing. Yeah. It is very good.
We then have Best Fighting Game. This one is a good one. Although one of them is clearly not going to win it. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom
Fighting Collection,
the Fighting Collection.
Ooh, now you see the problem is that even though the collection is new, all those games are not new.
Yeah,
and so I would love that. I would love it to win.
I don't think that's gonna win it.
I would love it to win it. However,
we have Multiverses and we have Tekken 8. Now, my heart belongs to Grand Blue Fantasy, but my brain knows that this is between Dragon Ball and Tekken.
Yeah. I think Tekken is going to win it because, my God.
The thing is, I would say Tekken hands down. But Sparking Zero has done so well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I would not begrudge Sparking Zero beating Tekken 8, because Sparking Zero is literally like Budokai back to its best.
And also, the thing is, this is a game that is a sequel to a game that came out 17 years ago, and it has also come out and is not a cash grab.
No,
that's another thing. And you're just like, oh, okay, this is okay, this is good. So yeah, I think Tekken 8 is going to win it. But it is between Tekken 8
and there's a part of me that wants Marvel Capcom Collection to win it, just so that we get even closer to Capcom going, yeah, you want MVC4? Yeah, we'll give you one. So here's hoping, but I think Tekken 8. But again, if Dragon Ball wins, I would not begrudge it.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said, I actually want Grand Blue Fantasy to win it because I like Grand Blue. Anyway, okay, so best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree should not be here.
Should not be there.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio right now. So we have a problem here. 3 of these games are nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth,
yeah.
Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, and Metaphor ReFantazio. Right,
so by our rules, Shadow of the Erdtree should not be there.
Shadow of the Erdtree should not be there.
It is now between Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth
and ReFantazio.
Right.
My biases to Atlas are going to come out now, and I'm going to say Metaphor should win this.
Do you know what? I would probably go with you. I would probably agree with you. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is a great game, but there's.
Well, the thing is, Dragon's Dogma could win this, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. They're both really good. The problem, like I said, is that these games are nominated for Game of the Year, so they should not lose.
Yeah. The other two should not have a cat's hat and a house in hell to be able to actually win.
Because if one of them does,
then those three
are not winning Game of the Year. Because you can't have the Game of the Year
which
lose in
its
own
that
category.
Also, like, if they do that and Astrobot loses,
yeah,
you already know who's winning before.
Yeah. So the question is who's going to win?
Right. So.
I would like Metaphor to win it.
I think Metaphor deserves to win it. I am worried that it's going to be Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erdtree is going to win it. And I'm like I say, Shadow of the Erdtree is a phenomenal DLC, but that's what it is. It is DLC, not...
Oh. Really? Really?
So we're now looking at the best action adventure.
Okay, now I am very confused.
We're looking at it going.
I'm thinking
apart from what? Well, 2 of them.
I think 2 games here are the only action adventure games.
The problem is one of them one of them that isn't the 2 is nominated for.
Or at least the only 2 of them are what I would class as an action adventure. I mean, okay, so the nominations are Astrobot,
which is a platformer.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown,
which is a 2D scrolling.
Silent Hill 2, which is a horror game.
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws,
which is an open world action adventure.
And Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, which is kind of the same. It's a top down.
It's a top down action adventure game.
Yeah.
It's a Zelda game.
Yeah, it's a Zelda game.
I would argue that 3 of those are actual action adventures. 1 is a platformer and 1 is a horror game.
Well, the thing is,
problem is
I
that
don't-
one of them's nominated for Game of the Year.
Prince of Persia, I class as a Castlevania, and I don't class them as action adventure games.
I class them as action adventure. They are Castlevanias. It is a Castlevania game, but action adventure is more like in your like combat and all that
with
sort
that
of
argument, I'll let you win with that argument. You do win, I suppose. So we got 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 are actual action adventures. One's a platformer and the other's a horror.
I generally think they were like, right, we've got to put Silent Hill 2 somewhere, but we don't have a best horror category. Which, by the way, there's a category that you can put in.
You can put in best horror. Every year you have at least 5 decent horror games. Yes, it's a niche market, but there still is decent horror games coming out. Are they at the same level as the Silent Hill 2? No. But then not many things are. But this year we've had... oh no, Dead Space was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Dead Space was last year. But it's the indie scene.
Well, no, it's not just that. You've got Poppy's Playtime. You've got Bendy. You got Bendy, Little Nightmares.
Yeah, I would class Little Nightmares as a...
You've got all those games
game
that you can add into here. Like Little Nightmares, obviously, this is more for next year because a lot of the sequels to these games are coming out next year.
I would also, like, even though, like, it's a little bit more...
Mortuary Assistant that came out this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, previously you've had Phasmophobia and all those sort of things. Like, there have been plenty of horror games. You don't have to class them all as like action adventure, for fuck's sake.
I mean, I'm only going off the like the bigger name ones, but there's tons of like small developers who have made these games that have done really well.
I mean, hell, I would class.
Silent Hill 2 is not an action adventure.
Lethal Company.
Lethal Company.
I would class Lethal Company, even though it's not
meant to be a horror game.
meant to be a horror game. I would class it as a horror game. Have you seen some of the shit that is in that game? Dear God, nightmare for you. And if you suffer from arachnophobia...
Okay, so the question is, who's going to win this one?
Well, there's only one of them that's nominated for Game of the Year.
I know, true.
Right, so
the thing is,
we think Astrobot is the platformer.
Probably going to win it.
It's probably going to win it.
Prince of Persia, I'm pretty sure that came... Did that not come out last year?
No,
I'm pretty sure
this
this year was the DLC.
It was the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay. Okay, so possibly Prince of Persia should win this?
So,
just by our standard?
Yeah. I would probably say Prince of Persia
or Legend of
Zelda should win.
Because Star Wars Outlaws is bollocks.
As action adventures,
like,
Prince of Persia or...
In my opinion, the very fact that Star Wars Outlaws has been nominated is an insult. Anything by Ubisoft right now should not be nominated for anything.
Yeah. However, so that's what we think.
Prince of Persia should win this one.
However, because Astrobot has been nominated for Game of the Year.
Wait, is it best action game?
Yeah.
Why is there best action adventure and then best action? What's in best action? No, this one's pretty good. Okay, right. So there is one that should win this because the rest are not nominated for Game of the Year. Okay, at least I don't think they are. Right, we have in the best action game Black Myth Wukong, which is nominated for the thing. I also actually do believe that they should actually win it.
It is an amazing game.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6, no. Helldivers 2, no.
I mean, it's as an action game, you literally get action movie moments in it.
Yeah,
you literally get action movie moments.
No, I'm just saying should win it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking no. Stellar Blade, I think, is probably no, but deserves to be nominated.
Deserves to be nominated, and if it wasn't for Wukong being there, it probably would win.
No, I don't think it would. I think if Wukong wasn't there, Space Marine 2 would win it.
Yeah, Space Marine 2 was the fifth
I think
one.
Space Marine 2 would win it if it wasn't for Wukong.
I think it'd be a close one between Stellar Blade and Space Marine 2, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those where it comes into, like, your personal preference, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to that point where it's like, between those two games, some people will prefer the other to one to the other. But unfortunately, Black Myth Wukong is there, and unfortunately, I don't think that's going to win.
Okay, so now we have Best VR AR game. Now, this one's going to be quite tough. Now, I've not played any of them because I can't, but I have seen reviews and I've seen people playing them on YouTube, like giving their opinions about the games, and all of these have had good reviews from people. So we have Arizona Sunshine Remake, We have Asgard Wrath 2. We have Batman Arkham Shadow, which I think is probably up there to win it. Metal Hellsinger VR and Metro Awakening, which is probably going to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, even though I've seen on Steam Metro Awakening having a lot of like negative reviews, most of it is in its stability and its actual like not necessarily the game itself.
The people that I've watched play the VR,
when it works, it is fantastic.
It is really, really good. I've seen people raving about Batman.
Which, when we first heard about it, we're like, "Oh, that's yeah."
Me personally, like I've watched people play it and I've watched people rave about it. Me personally, I look at it and I'm just like, that does not look like you're being Batman to me. Like the Arkham games that we have before, they do make you feel like Batman. This, because of the way VR works, like it is literally like, oh, you block and you do a couple of punches and all that sort of stuff. That's not.
Yeah, it's
Batman.
not the actual like combat Batman does.
That's more. Like, that's like okay, right? Maybe it makes you feel like Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
You know, like okay, fine, but like for me personally,
it's not the brutal combat you expect from Batman sort of thing.
But they're all good games. Best mobile game.
Balatro.
Balatro's winning this. It's the only one that's nominated for a Game of the Year, so it should win it. But just to go through, we have AFK Journey.
Yeah.
Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah. Quite a competition.
That's quite a competition. But Balatro should win this.
Balatro.
It's nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's nominated for Game of the Year, and two, if it is one of those where numbers go up, and if you are a person that likes numbers go up, Balatro it's addictive as hell.
Yep. Best debut indie game.
Yeah. Hence reason why I'm not playing.
Again, Balatro should win this because it's the only one nominated for Game of the Year. But we have Animal Well, which I kind of want to win.
Which is the Donkey published.
Yeah, Big Mode.
Big Mode.
But Animal Well is really, really good.
It is.
It's really good. I kind of want Animal Well to win it. But
Balatro is
should win it.
going to win it.
Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire.
All really good games for debuts. Again, it's one of those where it'd be really tight if it wasn't for one game.
Oh my god. Best independent game. Okay, here we go. Balatro should win this one. Again, it's the only one nominated for Game of the Year, so it should win.
All deserve to be here, though.
But we have Animal Well, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Never, and UFO 50.
Never's
the very sad one.
The very sad one with the wolf.
The one we were like, you're going to cry at the end of that game.
You're going to kill the dog.
Yeah.
Again, it'd be very tight if it wasn't for one game that's nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah. Best community support. Now this could go to any of them, to be fair. Baldur's Gate 3. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win this.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 just
because they just released. I think they released their patch that lets you bring mods in now.
And again, they've been very, very good communications with the community in that.
We have Final Fantasy 14.
Again, because Final Fantasy 14 just
has a really good community.
And Yoshi P is
Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
Helldivers 2, community wise, it's one of these weird ones where if it wasn't for Sony, it'd be so much better.
Yeah.
The Sony are actively harming the people, the community management of that game.
Right, best ongoing game. We have Destiny 2 because
Final Shape came out,
which was really good. Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Now I have a feeling that Diablo is going to win this. I have a really, really suspicious feeling about it, but Fortnite has just come out with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because they came out with the racing and the Lego stuff.
The Lego stuff.
I think they've got a new map coming.
They're doing more collabs with other franchises.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of stuff so Fortnite could win this year.
Fortnite could win it. Helldivers also the whole war process that goes on in Helldivers is so unique and so well done that I can see that winning. I have a feeling they're going to give it to. I have a feeling they're going to give it to Diablo 4, and it does not deserve it.
I think for me, I think it's between.
It should be between Helldivers and Fortnite.
A Fortnite, and just because I'm a Destiny fanboy, Destiny. But moving on, games for impact. Okay, so I know a couple of them. I know most of them. Wow, I actually know most of the games this year.
I know.
Holy shit! Okay, so the two that I don't know, Closer the Distance. I have no idea. Indica, which I do not know.
I've heard things about Indica. It's
Never. Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzia Zhao. I personally, only because I don't know the other two, I would pick Never.
Yeah. Never's still
out
an
of
absolutely
out of the four that I know,
gorgeous game.
I would pick Never.
And also, like we said, it's gonna make you cry.
Senua's Saga, I don't think should be there because it's not a game; it's a movie.
It also doesn't really do anything. For the whole reason, like this part is the games for impact. It doesn't do anything different to what it did in the original, in the first game. So I don't think it should get it. I think it's between Never and Stranger
Things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it not
Stranger? Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. That's what.
Yeah. Right. So, innovation in accessibility. Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Now,
Diablo 4. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. The only award this game could possibly win, because God, that game is bad. Prince of Persia: The Last Crown and Star Wars Outlaws. Okay, those two games are published by Ubisoft, so therefore they are out. They are not allowed.
So, Call of Duty, the accessibility options are absolutely insane. Absolutely, in a good way. It literally almost like applies to every sort of different method or like, and it's not just usual for a first person shooter of like, which color blindness are you?
Yeah. Diablo's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
In that sense, it's got like a really, really in-depth accessibility stuff, so that's not bad. And I'm pretty sure Dragon Age is probably the same, but Dragon Age: The Veilguard literally takes my Dragon Age and stabs it in the heart. And so Dragon Age: The Veilguard can go fuck itself.
Yeah, I think because this is not necessarily like the actual game. It's about the like.
It's the actual mechanics that are in the game to help people who have like color blindness or they're blind it's that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think to be fair, it could be any of them because.
Yeah, it's becoming more. This is a good thing. It's becoming more standardized to have like these options available for people. It
could be any of them. I am gonna go with Call of Duty because I refuse to give any award to Ubisoft, and there's those two. That means those two out.
As a person that will not just
right now, Dragon Age is in the in the corner for being a piece of shit, and so it leaves me with Diablo and Call of Duty. And
much to your.
To be honest with you, I don't want to vote for any of those. I don't want to vote for any.
But
of
not
them.
For reasons of the.
Not for reason of the accessibility, just because of
two of them are Activision Blizzard, two of them are Ubisoft,
and one of them is EA.
One of them is EA.
Like, come on. So yeah, I'm just gonna go Call of Duty just because I play that more than Diablo.
I think from what I've seen, I think Star Wars might get it, but any one of like the stuff that they have for each one of those games is actually really, really good. Doesn't necessarily change my opinion on the game.
No.
But anyway.
Okay, we have best performance. So we've got Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm pretty sure she's Aerith. Hannah Tell, Life is Strange, double exposure. She is Alex.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounced this right.
Humble
Gonzalez from Star Wars Outlaws,
which is
the main character.
The main character, yeah.
Which instantly, I'm sorry, it's not you, it's Ubisoft. No. Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2. That is James. He plays James. And Melina Gunjans as Senua from Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Wow. The thing is all the performances are
pretty good.
Really good.
The only one who's not allowed to win is Humbly.
Yeah.
Because Ubisoft.
I would probably put my money on Hannah Tell. I think.
I want to give it to Luke Roberts.
But then again, like I'm like, I think she should get it, but I also understand if Luke gets it as well.
I want to give it to Luke Roberts.
His portrayal of like James is very well done.
But then again, I like Brianna White. Like,
Yeah.
I love Eris so much in the remake.
The amount of like character she puts into her voice as well.
Like, I want
I
want her to win it because like Eris, like there's these remakes that they've done. Eris is now my favorite character in.
I'll be honest,
Final
Tifa's
Fantasy.
still my best girl. However,
Oh yeah,
I understand. Like I don't look at Eris and go, do you know what? I can see what Zack sees in you.
yeah. Like, I love just the absolute sassiness of her.
She is a sassy little lass.
And it's just like,
great.
So, I personally, any of them could win it.
And deservedly so.
Except for Humbly Gonzalez, she's not allowed to win it. Again, not because of her, because of Ubisoft. We are not giving Ubisoft awards.
No.
It's not happening.
They're not Yves Goulimon does not deserve to have a trophy at all, ever again.
So
I think it's between
those four.
yeah. I think it's going to be.
It's going to be a tough one.
I think it is going to be Luke that wins it, just because of how well he portrays James and how well he does.
Yeah.
As like, you don't notice the difference in the character between the original and. But it's also like he's added so much stuff to it as well. It's really, really, really well done. I mean, they've done all of the voice actors are really well done.
Okay, right. Best audio design. So
now this is one that even Game of the Year might not get.
Yeah, best audio design. Now, me personally, I already know which one I want to win, and that is because the way the sound is used in the game is just fantastic. Well, we have Astrobot. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we have Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and we have Silent Hill 2. Now, me personally, I think Silent Hill 2 should win.
Yes.
Just because, number one, horror games use sound.
Yeah, horror games atmosphere is very, very deep, very, very...
like, they don't use a lot of music.
No, it's so the atmosphere is... a lot of emphasis is placed on the sound. It doesn't have to be. Certain games can be very quiet and still be absolutely terrifying. But
Call of Duty, in my opinion, should not be in this because I am sick to death of hearing my footsteps.
It's not just the footsteps, it's the gun sounds and all that sort of stuff.
Like, you walk around in that game and it's like you're wearing cement bricks as fucking shoes.
I think you are supposed to be wearing military boots, which are loud.
Yeah, but like when you're... when you're just slowly walking, it still sounds like you're stomping on the ground, right? When you're running, fine. You make noises and stuff like that, and you're putting your feet down. When you're just trying to like...
It's because they never take into account that, like, soldiers in high stress situations
also
are trained to make as little noise as possible.
Call of Duty still has the problem of sound design of like, something's coming from the left, so the sound will come from the right. Like, it still has that problem. It's always had that problem.
Yes.
Of being like, there's footsteps coming from somewhere.
Don't want to say it's not well programmed, but especially when you have like 3D headsets, unless there's certain models, it doesn't work as well as it should do.
Astrobot's sound is really, really good. Like it's very good. Like I can't deny that.
Yeah,
it's very, very good. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We are still currently going through it.
Yeah.
We can say the sound
design is really, really good.
The,
everything sounds really, really
nice
good.
and crisp when you're hitting them with the sword.
But also like the spell effects.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff.
I don't have an opinion on Senua's Saga because I haven't played it.
From what I've watched, it does.
But again,
the same as it's
the same as the last one.
The last one.
But my opinion on that game is also still that it is not a game; it is a movie.
Yeah.
And
Silent Hill 2 is.
I think Silent Hill 2 should win just because, like these games, they
can potentially live and die on their sound.
Yeah, like they need the sound to be the way it is, otherwise, it dies. If it goes too much, it's too silly. Okay, so here we go. Right, this is the one that usually Square Enix should always win.
But somehow doesn't. I mean, last year they weren't even nominated, which is like,
I know, which is wow.
Maybe this is the apology.
yeah, true. Right, so best score and music. Right, so Astrobot, music's very, very good. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Music is very
Square Enix, of course.
Music is very, and also it's the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, but dialed up to 11.
Metaphor Refantasio, the music is fantastic.
Atlas are always throwing out bangers with their games. So
Silent Hill 2 has, in my opinion, arguably the best soundtrack to any game that has ever existed, and Stellar Blade. So my opinion again is going to go with Silent Hill 2 because I'm not going to lie, I got into the room with the lass, and I can't remember her name for some bizarre reason, and Promise started playing, and I was just like, yes, this is what I'm here for. That music is so goddamn good. Like,
I think the thing with Final Fantasy VII is when you're in the middle of combat, the music can just fade into the background.
Yeah.
And you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Because you're concentrating. Unlike the traditional Final Fantasy VII, where it's like because it's a turn-based RPG. You have time to you have time and you'll be able to actually but because there's so much going on with Final Fantasy VII, don't get me wrong though, when you are not in combat and you have the music of the whatever area you're in, like the Gold Saucer, which we're currently at, it's fucking fantastic. Metaphor,
it's Atlas.
Atlas have just an innate ability to just make banger after banger.
Yeah. Stellar Blade's music is actually really good.
Stellar Blade's music is very, very good.
It does fall into the same position that you say with Final Fantasy.
I also would say,
into the background.
I would say also with Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade's music is for certain tastes, and usually it's the type of music that you would expect in those act like Devil May Cry action RPG, action, as I call them, action show.
Yeah.
Where it's like all very like flashy and all that sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong, not bad, not a criticism. I love those games, but I think Metaphor might win it. But then again, I
think it's between Silent Hill and Metaphor.
It's one of those where I will not begrudge anyone from winning it. It's not like last year where I was literally like, Final Fantasy 16 should be there. Find the Flame is literally one of the greatest boss musics ever made. You could literally put that with any boss in the gaming history and it makes the boss fight better.
Yeah, pretty much. Right, best art direction. So we have Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor Refantasio, and Never. Now, a little part of me, the little gremlin part of me, wants Never to win because it's the only one that hasn't been nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
But the Atlas fanboy in me is like, Atlas has to win.
Yeah. Again, this is another one where the Game of the Year may not necessarily win this one. I think because, again, Never is again one of those games that, like, its art style is one of its biggest draws.
It's 100% between Never and Metaphor.
Yeah. I personally think because
Astrobot looks like your normal 3D platformer
cutie platformer.
I think the only thing that could stand up, because as much as I like the art in Elden Ring, the art in Elden Ring is the same as the original game.
Yeah, the Shadow of the Erd Tree, it is still a beautiful game, don't get me wrong, but it is still DLC for a game that's already come out.
The only reason I would allow Elden Ring to win this, even though it shouldn't be here because it's DLC in our standards, is when you get to the Shaman village where Merrick's home is.
Yeah.
That is an unbelievably beautiful scene.
Yes.
Like when you actually get there after you've dealt with the fucking tree sentinels. Fuck those tree
Both
sentinels.
of them, man. You only get the things after you beat both of them.
Fuck the tree sentinels. Fuck them both. But yeah, when you actually get there, it is unbelievably beautiful, and the fact that like there's only one guitar playing for the soundtrack. It's just a slow little guitar riff that's being played.
Yeah.
And it's so somber and deserted, but you've got the flowers.
Yeah.
All there. It's unbelievably
It's
good.
one of those like eerie, beautiful.
It's one of those moments in games that you don't forget.
Yeah.
But
it's like a haunting. It's like a haunting beauty sort of thing. Like, which I always find.
But
I always love having that like haunting, beautiful thing. Even like in singing voices and
saying that, Black Myth Wukong's art style is fantastic. Nether is fantastic, and Metaphor is fantastic. Yeah. So the Atlas fanboy in me is coming out.
I think because unlike the other the other 4 games, I think Nether's like art style is the thing that really draws you in.
Yeah,
is the thing that will make it win. However, it's another one where I'm like, I'm not going to begrudge anyone else winning it.
Okay, so here we go. Best narrative.
Ooh.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
So,
These are all good.
I think Senua's Saga 2 is going to get it, even though I probably don't agree with it, because it's another one of those where it's like certain aspects of the community just... it's not necessarily the gaming community, but like the gaming media.
Yeah.
Like to grab on and love it all to them.
Yeah, you mean like Dragon Age Railgun?
Yeah.
Yeah. How it's so amazing until you actually play the game.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it is, even though they've added a whole bunch of stuff and changed some things, it's still Final Fantasy VII. The major beats are still the same. We haven't got up to the moment yet.
Silent Hill 2 is it's Silent Hill 2. It is a carbon copy.
Yeah.
So it's between Senua's Saga, Like a Dragon, and Metaphor. Obviously, the Atlas fanboy in me wants
Metaphor to win.
But saying that, I would like Yakuza to win something for once.
Yes.
It gets nominated all the time, but it never wins.
Very rarely does it actually win anything.
And Yakuza's narratives are always good. The serious stuff. They're
good.
The
main storyline, is always really good. We keep going on about like how silly it can be, but they're all the side stuff. Like if you took all the side stuff, like Yakuza's are literally the main storylines are literally like gangster / Hong Kong cop flicks.
Yeah,
they can be extremely dark and highly emotional, and it's like there's betrayal and everything underneath it. So I would like
a Dragon to win.
Yeah,
I would really like Yakuza to win an award at some point. It deserves it. Yeah. Especially like one of these, because I'm pretty sure it has won an award, but it was more like I think it was like best RPG. I think because
of the fact that like people go on about this silly stuff in Yakuza, it undermines the actual like main storyline sometimes. They unintentionally underline the actual like main storyline, which can be very heartbreaking at times. Like Kiryu, if you just take the main storyline of what happens to him,
through all 6 games,
like dear God, that guy has been through something.
How are you not like a manic depressive ball in the corner?
How are you able to have like a joyful fishing side mission?
You know why? Because he's a man. He's a real man.
He is a real man. Kiryu is the most manliest man in gaming.
Yeah. Right, so best art direction, which this is a bit weird because I'm pretty sure all 6 of these are the same as the game of the year. We'll find out. Best game direction is Astrobot, Bellatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio.
Ooh, the problem is that they're all very different games.
Yeah.
Like, you have a platformer, you have a
card game,
a is it roguelike? Card-like? It's hard to explain what Bellatro actually is, but it's like a deck-building game.
You've got an
Wukong.
action
I think the only two that are similar is Elden Ring, which shouldn't be there, and Black Myth Wukong, which are Souls-likes. Final Fantasy VII is a modern action RPG, and Metaphor is a turn-based RPG, which, even though they have RPGs in them, in their titles, play completely differently.
I'm going to go with Black Myth.
Yeah, maybe.
I think Black Myth would probably win this.
I think Black Myth because it's such a very, very well put together game, despite like the smallness of that team.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the game of the year, because like I've said a number of times that I actually think Black Myth should win. But we'll get there. Right. So best game direction, I'm going to go with Black Myth.
I think Black Myth might win.
Okay, so on to the final one. Yeah, literally the
exact same. So whoever wins best game direction is probably going to win this.
Yeah.
Game of the year. Which is the exact same 6.
It's the exact same 6. Astrobot, Bellatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. Right. So, we all know about the other games. I'm going to just talk about Black Myth, and then I think we could end it. Black Myth Wukong should win this, not only because it is number 1, arguably it is the best game in that
it's best of the
group,
6. Yeah.
Right? But it is a brand new IP from a brand new studio with people who are not veterans of the industry.
Yeah, they're all
and they have managed to release a game of this caliber,
of this size,
and release it, and it's not a buggy mess. It's not microtransaction. There's no microtransactions in it.
No, it's literally just a game. They released the game for you to buy.
And it works. It works, and it's fine. And the fact that they've managed to do that with all the other things that have been going on, specifically with the fucking games media and how they really do not like this game, which is weird.
It is, from what I can tell, because obviously, I'm not of the culture, a very well done representation of the Chinese mythology, especially for the Journey to the West. And to the very fact that like the only thing that really is going to cause you major problems, even though the game is a Souls-like, so the whole thing is like the bosses are going to be hard.
Yeah.
But the fact that it actually pits yourself against yourself.
Yeah. Who
will literally bitch slap you and taunt you.
Yeah.
And take the piss because you are Sun Wukong,
yeah.
and that is what Sun Wukong would do. It's such like it's one of those. It's like when Elden Ring came out. It met the hype. The hype was ridiculous for Elden Ring. It came out and blew the hype away. And even though like the games media did not want this to be a success, even though they did, you could tell certain parts of the games media were deliberately like not talking about it. They were trying to like bury it.
Instantly, just like
I don't understand why.
Neither do I.
I don't
get it.
Like,
come on! You had that article how there wasn't enough diversity in it.
Yeah,
you're a fucking monkey in a world full of fucking demons and monsters and all this other stuff. And what do you want about diversity?
No, there's not enough diversity. It's a telling of the characters from Chinese mythology, of the Journey to the West. What you want them to insert characters that never existed, and also like it's the game is not about that. There was a lot of people complaining about it, and for stupid reasons, and it's like, What do you mean not diverse? This is a telling of another culture's mythology.
Yeah.
How can you not be more diverse? Like it's an introduction to Westerners who like have no idea what the Journey to the West was as a story.
Or hell, even just normal Chinese mythology.
Yeah, or Chinese mythology in general. Like the very fact that like gods in their mythology were everywhere and in different trees and like I just I'm like, why is your reaction to the introduction of a different culture's mythology? I want more
diversity.
More diversity. It's not got enough girl power in it.
Absolutely, it was stupid. The amount of stuff that they came out with, the amount of articles they came out with, full of bollocks.
The thing is also, can you imagine if someone released a similar game with the same quality, with the same the same fan base hype for it, right? With a African pantheon mythology basis. Mm-hmm. Do you honestly think these people would be going, I want more diversity? No, they wouldn't, because, and I'm not saying that's
which, by the way, they should totally do a game like that.
Oh yeah, they should. I love the thing is was like, as a person that has only grown up with being taught Greek, the very basic Greek, Roman mythology. I find other mythologies so much more fascinating, and also actual Greek mythology, not the here's Zeus and here's all the other gods, and there's your learning. That's it. The actual actions of
the thing is right, when we're talking about Chinese mythology, right? When we're talking about Chinese mythology, and they're like, oh, we need more diversity. I just want to turn around and go, you do realise we're talking about mythology where a real man, like he actually existed, actually ascended to godhood.
Guan Yu.
Like, people actually worship this person now as a god of war.
Yeah.
Like, why do people not talk about this? This is mind-boggling.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Part of it probably is the fact that China is a communist country, and China doesn't like religion. Well, communists don't like religion because.
Well, yeah, I know that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Like, a man literally became a god.
But then it would then the Christians would be very upset because only they're
oh, fuck the Christians, man. Also, Jesus wasn't God. That's my point.
He was a son of God,
he wasn't a god.
Well, it depends on who's
telling the story.
Yeah, it depends on who's telling the story.
But it's just this sort of stuff. It's just like we are learning new things about a culture that we don't really know anything about on our side of the world.
Our only introduction to Chinese mythology when we were growing up was
the Monkey TV show.
Was the Monkey TV show, Monkey Magic,
which I'm pretty sure was Japanese.
Yes, but also was no, I think it was actually Chinese.
Oh, it was Chinese.
I could be wrong though, but anyway, it doesn't matter because it was extremely poorly dubbed as usual. But hilariously so.
Yes.
But Monkey Magic was literally a retelling of the Journey to the East, and that was our only introduction.
Yeah.
To Chinese mythology, and we were too young to actually understand it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was just funny things are happening. This is enjoyable.
Yeah. But yeah, I think out of all the other ones, I think under everything that we've seen, like all the pressures that I think Black Myth deserves to win it.
Also again, like I said, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out. It's a very, very good game. So is Astro Bot. Shadow of the Erdtree's DLC shouldn't be there. What's the fourth one?
Metaphor.
Metaphor. It's an Atlas game. It's very, very good. But just like Elden Ring, which released last year.
Bellatra.
Oh, Balatro. Balatro came out of nowhere. And it's a very, very addictive game.
Yes.
But, just like Elden Ring last year, the hype from the fan base, from the actual people who play video games, the actual gaming community, the hype for that game was through the roof. And just like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong came out and met it, and at times surpassed it. And for that reason, I believe it should win Game of the Year. I'm worried that Shadow of the Erdtree is going to win it, which will be an absolute fucking joke.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Shadow of the Erdtree is a phenomenal DLC, but that's what it is. It is a DLC. It is not a fully fledged game. You cannot just download Shadow of the Erdtree and play it.
Yeah.
You need Elden Ring. You need the actual game to play it because it's DLC.
Like, so yeah, those are our predictions. Those are what we
are probably going to be wrong on a lot of them.
Oh yeah, we are 100% going to be wrong on them.
But you know, to everyone who to anyone and everyone who's watched this, I hope you have your own opinions. They are not, and they are your own opinions. There's no wrong opinion.
We will be
unless
back,
it's Ubisoft.
We will be back after the Game Awards.
Yes, because you have work.
Because I have a lot of work.
You have a
lot.
I don't have a lot
of
of
time.
work.
I have a lot of work, and I really want to get streaming going and stream regularly. So unfortunately, I'm focusing more on that than I am on these. Although I will talk to you later. I do have a plan to maybe start doing this more of a monthly thing.
Yeah, that's fine. It could be the month of games.
Yeah,
side quests for the month.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what I was thinking is just like sometimes when we've done it weekly, it's been fucking hard to find something actually interesting to talk about. So if I do it more monthly, then at least then there's more
chance of something to come out.
Yeah.
And also we could probably have a look at what's being released in the month.
Yeah.
And talk about it there.
So that's my plan, but we're obviously I'll need to talk to you about it.
The only other thing we could do is spread out into other things than just gaming, maybe. But
we could, but I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I've got way too much.
Yeah, that's way too much more work for you.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this chat. We will see you after the Game Awards,
where we will be probably complaining about Elden Ring winning it.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.